Nice and clean.
23, Gunter Schaldach.
Yeah, definitely some tire rub, at least there on that right front corner. The key element, you've got to get through the traffic safely.
Aboard the number 70 Mazda Sky Active Diesel. So there is Ricky Taylor, one of a number of drivers who raced at Le Mans last weekend.
And this is a team that really needs to get a little bit of momentum. They came into this season, Ricky moving over from the 10 team to the 90 with Richard Westbrook. We really thought this would be a dynamic duo, and it just hasn't happened for them for whatever reason this year. One podium finish so far. They've led races, but they can't quite bring it home. You saw at Mid-Ohio where suddenly Westy had fatigue, and we believe it was from the exhaust fumes coming into the cockpit. And just little things like that, Dorsey, the unexpected is really happening to this team.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen with that. You know, just one thing after the other, the things you can't even think about happening happen.
After the race, they'll polish up that car and get it ready to ship over to the Goodwood Festival of Speed, where the 90 will be driven up the hill by Ricky Taylor, and that'll be a real thrill for him, I'm sure.
Wish they'd ship me with it.
Right.
Something I'd like to go do.
Absolutely. Let's get more now on the 62 Porsche. Justin Bell, what have you got?
Well, interesting strategy play here for the 8-star guy.
Me and Boris said did this. It didn't work out well.
Ball's up. The hole that the Ganassi team are in right.
We were talking about how you felt like you guys were at a little bit of a mileage. So Ganassi doing anything they can to get back in it. They've never arrived.
Yeah, you called it.
Had some speed in hand after on track. Passed for the lead in the GX category. Sylvain Tremblay going past Spencer Pumpelly, who's been basically the quickest car in that GX field all weekend.
Yeah.
Bell is with her.
Well, actually, there's double trouble down here. With Carly Lloyd, also you are the Grand Honorary Starter, and Abby Grand Marshal. Amazing to have you both here. I think you've raised the quality level of the crowd here at Watkins Glen. I'm going to start with you first. Obviously, hundreds of goals between you, gold medals, all-time women's.
Try to get that lap back and they have it go away in the pit lane. It's like, oh.
Used to call him Westy. I'm thinking they call him Wussy after Mid-Ohio when he got out. His job. And this team is
leading the GX class. Sylvain Tremblay came in for a long pit stop. They went under the hood, and they currently run third in class.
heading on drivers. He still comes around in second spot, just 6.5 seconds behind Westy, so game on.
Onto the backstretch. Credit to all the fans out here at Watkins Glen this weekend. The weather has been miserable at times, and yet they are filling the camping areas to watch the 6 hours.
I just saw the same thing you did. Now, in the race car, that was a fun thing here. You'd clear that hill and you had that stretch going down to the inner. Well, we talk about 2 3-hour races, not 1 6.
Valiente only has 5 laps on the board, whereas Westy had 11, so it makes sense for these guys to top him off.
Just fuel. We're going to just get him topped off and open their window.
Yeah, essentially you're about 40% away through a full fuel run at 11 laps there, so it makes total sense here. You don't want to be making green flag pit stops.
Everybody involved.
Ooh, so that was not going to work.
No, it wasn't.
This wasn't going to work.
The
side, Osnegre has nowhere to go.
And they got hard on the brakes to keep from hitting Memo Rojas.
Car down in turn 1.
0-0 in the GX class. Mazda has claimed its first couple of victories in this all-new class for alternative racing technologies. And
what was that?
We're talking about Angela.
About that, the halfway points available for the North American Endurance.
Memo Rojas likes. And
keen on that 3-hour mark. About 40 minutes to go before we get to that. The 5 car was in just a lap ago, and these guys should be able to go through that 3-hour mark without an additional pit stop, so they should be in pretty.
Just a little bit of hiccup down here for the Action Express boys.
Yeah, the fueling is the cushion that they have, really. It takes a while because they have restrictors on the amount of fuel flow that they can put in the car, so it gives them a little buffer, but not much.
On the passenger side window, you see a NACA duct with a vent trying to get some air into these cars. That NACA is NACA, the National Advisory Committee on Aeronautics, that invented this low drag vent.
Glad you cleared that up for us.
Yeah.
Has a different meaning in England.
I'm not going.
Yeah. Okay. Garcia behind the wheel here. Great to see him back as the 3rd driver in this Spirit of Daytona.
Let's get down to the, as you can see, we're under our 3rd full course caution, and here's the reason. The class leading number 70, Mazda 6 Sky Active Diesel. Let's listen Oh, man.
Well, you don't even have to comment on that one. That is
The
huge
sound of a
blow
box
up.
of neutrals, it sounds like.
That could be engine too. I mean, you hear something clanking around down there.
Yeah, that is an expensive noise.
Yeah, that
With this,
now listen to this blow up. That's ugly.
Just makes you flinch every time you hear it.
Field get the same, a fourth on down, so these top three positions are critical.
My steering wheel is all crooked, so the toe is totally out. It's
If Sarazan has a whole nother lap.
Well, they had the fastest race lap at Mid-Ohio, and they run third right. They had a great run up through the S's and got a great run on the Wheeler machine to take that part. In America, so I really enjoy it. So the trouble is I don't know any of the racetracks. I only know Daytona, Sebring.
Put together.
Challenge over there and ran it well.
He did. I think he was a Daytona team.
Well, Antonio Garcia climbs out and Ricky Taylor climbing in on full course caution because of that loaded racetrack in pit lane, guys.
Wow. Fourth Flackerman. There's Ricky Taylor, who's just taken over the 90 car. When we return to Le Mans. Pruitt's gotten by him in the 01.
Well, imagine that, the 01 and Yakima running to get one car.
That's dangerous to pinch off the top of that hill.
So much speed.
God,
That's cool.
boy, they using all the curbs.
With these two new cars in the hardest, longest race in North America. And now here we are at the Glen. You had a win a couple of weeks ago. I mean, the program, the technology, the activation, it's really starting to get somewhere, isn't it?
It is, Justin, and if you roll the clock back, it's been quite a journey. But anytime you focus on a development project like this, with the new SkyActiv technology, the all-new Mazda 6, you're going to have milestones. And now we're on the eve of our fourth victory in a row. Really proud of the team. Couldn't be here without folks like VisitFlorida, Castrol, ModSpace. They get us here, but the team and the guys do all the hard work.
I mean, Mazda throughout their involvement in racing has always been so pioneering with technology. I imagine everybody on board in the development team, the brand, the marketing, they all take pride in that, don't they? And it reflects in the way you come racing.
Everybody buys into it because it is truly our proving ground. We chose that 24-hour race. We choose 6-hour races like this because it's the ultimate test of the machine and all the technology. And all we can hope is that it proves that the cars will last, they're durable, not only here at the racetrack, but on the street, and everyone can put a new Mazda 6 on their shopping list.
There you are. He did, by the way, guys, he didn't just plug that so I could get a free one. I mean, much as I tried to imply that.
And much as we don't believe you, Justin. There is Tristan Nunez, who picked up one of those victories.
are looking a little bit stronger, and there are some other.
Mike Johnson does a great job on the bench, you know, calling strategy on this car. We talk about all the time how good this car is over on rough curbs and stuff. They use the curbs intentionally with that car. It doesn't upset it.
They've actually running the car an inch lower than last year, so they had to really work hard on getting that compliancy back. Obviously, when you run lower to the ground, you need to be a little bit stiffer. They seem to have worked that out.
Joel Miller in the 00 car. I mistakenly said low sulfur diesel.
I'm sure they will have been told about the result.
Speaking of driving through,
Yeah, this is playing through, though.
number 3 car.
4 days in there now, so we're going to have an incredibly...
Yeah, Catherine, the 8 machine.
I mean, that part that was raining, and you see the slick flag here, they're doing a big wiggle. Yeah, I mean, that extra RPM, you burn more fuel.
Racetrack.
Well, looking out the window of our announce booth, I can tell you it's raining pretty heavily along the
The
start.
rain cell that we've been watching coming this way is just...
This is danger time.
Yeah, now is where it gets... Oh,
90
no,
is
here we
off,
go.
99 is off. Those are...
I didn't see a red light, and I'm hearing that they haven't closed them for whatever
Well,
reason.
this is not by the book then, because when you go full caution, pit lane should be closed immediately. So looking to the inside of the ESM Ferrari and just went straight.
No damage, even though he hit the wall. There's the 99 comes in right behind him. Of course, this is what
Fogarty?
always happens. It's its way through the side of a case or take out other gears. That's not good.
July 7th, 4 p.m. Eastern time. We're under our 5th condition. We're under our 5th full course caution. And by the rule book, when the caution comes out, the pits are closed. And yet, we saw the number 2 car, Sebastian Bourdais, pit his Star Works Ford Riley, make a driver change to wet weather rubber, fuel up, a full service pit stop basically, and then go on his way. Now, what a lead for the defending champion.
Another blown engine here had me.
It was Ricky Taylor in the 90 into the tire wall. He complained of a mechanical breakage as a result of his efforts to get that car off the wet grass. John Fogerty off in the Red Dragon.
Westbrook is trying to get back onto this lead lap. Pushes, shoves his way through Valiente.
In fact, if you see me do it, people shouldn't.
It's pretty wide latitude there.
You guys wanted today, has it gotten better as the day's gone on?
Yeah, I think.
Timmy makes the call. Timmy Keene, team manager for Ganassi.
We said at the beginning of the show it was one of our race things.
All that pent-up desire after all the time out of the car.
Well, I just spoke with Bill Oberlin.
That fuel hose has to be connected.
There's the second place.
Harry sprinkled down in pit lane. Brian Tilley with the 90 car.
Yeah, fuel only. Remember, we only have probably a little over 20 minutes to go, so it's going to be a timed stop. They're either going to tap this guy or tell him on the radio. And
then Wilson, who currently runs fourth, that would elevate him to third, but he's going to need a race.
That's exactly right.
I believe they just called him.
Well, Calvin and Dorsey, I agreed with you. I stood here in the pit lane and watched the 90.
Team has run great. You've been up front. I mean, you showed well this weekend.
On that last lap, so he may need a little bit of help with traffic as well.
I'd be down there at the 10 right now.
And more tips about how to start a career as a pro driver. Remember, safe is fast.
This race to the checkered flag, or will he have similar problems? Traffic up ahead. They're going to have to clear some more traffic to finish this lap.
Mistake by Eve.
Guys, Tristan Nunez, you guys, I know how hard this race is as drivers. This is a tough one to get through, but it's really hard on the cars, and to bring the Sky Active Mazda here into victory lane has got to be a great feeling.
Yeah, it was good to show that the new Mazda 6 can go the distance, and yeah, we had a little drama with the rain, but a little Florida sunshine. We brought that to the table, so that was good for us.
All right, guys, any comments?
Darren, this here was one heck of a last hour. It was a very long one. I could see the time. Big thanks to Visit Florida. I got to thank the Lord for putting me here. We had Taradas on here with us this weekend on the 6 hour. Brought his knowledge. It was great. Great day for Mazda.
All right, guys, congrats. Back to the booth.
Till Justin Bell and Darryl.